Hello everyone, this is Crustlemania and welcome back to the 14th selling week results. This week I had about 6 card sales and it was quite a busy week for what I thought it was going to be. I last week thought I wasn't really going to have any sales this week, or I was really unsure just because I did put up some cards but I didn't know if they were going to be sold or not, and quite a few more sold this week, so let's get into it. And the first card, as you probably have seen from the beginning of the video, is this Miraidon EX card. So this is a card that I picked up in the 30 card Craigslist lot, and this is one of the cards in that lot, and this is quite a nice card. I don't know too much about the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon like Miraidon, and I think Miraidon is the other legendary. I'm not too familiar with the two, but this card I wasn't sure was going to sell, but I did put it up on my eBay page, and this card actually sold for the price that I wanted it to sell for. So this was the first sale of the week, and this card I had listed for $350 on eBay and it sold for $350. So after taxes and fees, I come down to about $256. And that to me was a pretty good price, just because I think it was pretty close to market, or maybe a little bit above market price from Miraidon, but I am not too familiar with this card, so definitely glad that this one was sold and it was going to a good buyer who wanted this card. And there were actually 3 cards that sold on the same day. So the second card is a card that I figured was gonna sell, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna sell this week. And this card is the Galarian Moltres promo card from the tin. And this card is quite nice because it has a nice art to it, and it really does show Moltres kind of in full kind of flight, although I do think it's a little bit strange because it is kind of a strange angle for the Galarian Moltres card, so not exactly sure why it's angled kind of tail down, but I'm not the designer of the cards, but the card was in near mint condition, and I put this card up for $2 on eBay and it sold for $2, and after shipping and fees it comes down to about $124 that I take home. And this card was interesting because as of recording this video, I just found out that the person finally got the card. So they had actually messaged me the day before recording this video asking me, hi, like the card was delivered on eBay, but I didn't receive the card. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, can you send me the shipping details for this card? So I sent them an image or screenshot from my end of what the card said it was, because it said it was delivered on my end as well, and I showed as much of like how the delivery process was for the tracking. And the person said, oh, okay, I'll ask the postman the next day. And as of recording this video, like earlier today, the person or the buyer got back to me and said that they received the card. So very interesting process. Was a little anxious for a little bit, but thankfully that the person got the card that they wanted. So that is just something I like about selling on eBay, even with the shipping fees and stuff like that. Just the possible insurance or the limited tracking, just to have that there as a safety net, is quite nice for a situation like this when a buyer doesn't receive the card on the day that they said that they received it. So this is something I enjoyed. I'm glad that they got the card, because for me, refunds, they happen, but I really just want the buyer to get the card that they purchased, because I want them to get that product that they wanted. And it kind of, they lose out pretty much if they don't receive that card, even though we both get our money back. So that's just something that I learned from this process today. So the third card that sold on the same day is a very interesting card. Honestly, this was the card that I showed in the 2-month reality check video for not selling, and the card that sold was the Noivern GX card. I really did not expect to sell this card. It was very much a surprise that same day when this card had a bid on it. I was like, wait a minute, someone's actually going to buy this card? Which I'm really happy with, so I'm glad that this card is going to a good home. Again, it's a lightly played card, and I think there's a little bit of a dent on the bottom right corner of the card on the back side, but overall really nice card, and I'm glad that it sold. So this card sold for about $1 on eBay, and then after shipping and taxes I take home about 42 cents. So overall, not too bad. At least I made the sale and the card is going to a good home. I really did not expect this card to be sold because it was on my eBay page, oh man, I think for quite a while. I think for at least 2 months it was up on there. So it finally moved. I was happy about that, and it's going to a good home, to a buyer that wanted this card. So glad that this card is going to a good home now. So the next card that sold this week was a card I kind of forgot I put up on eBay, but it's quite a cool card, and it is the Charizard GX Promo card. So as you can see probably here, this is the promo card. I think that came in one of the packs, or the cardboard box packs. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now, but this is one of those promo cards, and there's an oversized card and a standard size card for this card, and this one's a standardized card size. So this one actually can get relatively expensive on eBay, I believe, but I think mine was within market price for eBay. So this card I sold for about $4.75 on eBay, and then after shipping and fees I took home about $3.63, which actually is pretty good for this card. I looked at market price, I think like when I first made the listing. I didn't really keep up with the trend for this card, but it sold at the price that I wanted to, and I think there actually was a little mini bidding war, because I think I listed this card at $4.50. Someone bid, and then someone bid right after to hit it at $4.75. So I think it went a little bit above even my price range. I just expected it to sell at $4.50, but ended up selling at $4.75. So the buyer that got it really wanted it, and now they are getting it. So really glad that this card is going to a good home as well. And then the next card that I sold this week was a card that I got in trade for the Deoxys VMAX and the Paldean Fates Pokemon Center ETB, and this is the Cynthia's Ambition Trainer Art Full Art card from Crown Zenith. This is a card that my friend did not want in his collection, and we traded for this card and the Irida trainer card, and this one sold. And this one I had to lower the price a little bit because I had it a little bit higher than what it was selling for on eBay, and I didn't really realize that in the beginning, so I lowered it around to market or a little below market just to make it more affordable for the buyer. So because shipping prices and stuff like that, I wanted this card to kind of move, because I'm not a huge fan of the trainer cards, but I figured, someone might enjoy this card. So this card basically sold for $7 on eBay, and then after taxes and shipping, I took home about $5.57. So pretty good. Initially I did want a little bit more, but at the end of the day, this card moved and is going to a good home to the buyer that bought this card. So pretty happy there. Can't ask for much more. Card's already shipped out and it's going to its next home. Whether they resell it or grade it, it's up to them. Keep it, resell it. Hey, it's their card now, so they can do whatever they want with it. So that is the Cynthia's Ambition card. And the last card this week that sold was part of the Halloween kind of little special I was doing for the last ditch effort for the Halloween booster pack cards that I bought in the past. And one of those cards sold. And this was just like for anyone that wanted to purchase any of these Halloween cards. I knew I was going to take a loss on it, but I wanted to see if I can get any sales, just because I'm shooting for sales for eBay. And this is the Houndoom card that sold. The art for this one's actually pretty nice. Between the Gengar, Pikachu, and the Houndoom, I like those the most from these Halloween trick-or-trade cards. So this is the only card that sold out of the 10 cards that I put up on there. And this one I took a little bit of a loss on, but it actually is okay because it wasn't too big of a loss. So I sold this card. I put it up on eBay for 10 cents. And after taxes and fees, I went down minus 34. But because I made previous sales of the other cards this week, it wasn't too big of a deal. So it just kind of came out of the rest of the sales. But these Halloween cards, you probably won't see them again for a while, because I'm probably not going to touch them. I already marked them as a loss, as one of my commenters, Never Cold, said, and I agree completely. So probably either hand these out as free cards when I ship out other cards, or just kind of leave them for now to figure out what to do next. I do have a plan for these things to kind of move them, but we'll see if that plan goes into fruition. But anyways, these are the cards that I sold this week. 6 sales. Definitely a lot of learning. I think the biggest learning for this week was the Galarian Moltres card and just the shipping process on there, and realizing how much of a benefit it is to have the limited tracking, just to prove to the buyer that the card was shipped, and for them to actually go and ask like the post office or the postman, like, hey, where's this card? It said it's shipped, so they can have a shipping tracking number to rely on when finding out where their card is. So that is the positive side of having the limited tracking, and why I'm a little bit more willing to sell on eBay, at least for the cards here. So anyways, this is the selling results for the 14th week, and we will see what next week brings. I'm hoping for at least one sale every week. That's just what I go for, and if there are more, that's great. If there's not, then that's just how it goes. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next selling week video. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.